Our students, welcome back to another tutorial. I love it when I do this with my fingers. So welcome back, and this is going to be the position that we work with today. So this is kind of more of a gun-wielding kind of position. The guy's like kind of creeping up on somebody. He could be a cop, he could be a soldier, he could be a superhero, just one that uses guns. So we're going to work on this today, and I'm going to try to stay focused on this. A lot of times I go off, and I want to get a little more deeper into the drawings as well, as in to show you how to do this a little better, a little quicker. So let's get started. Put this over here. Now, when we learn to draw as beginner artists, we always look at something and we say, oh, that's nice, I want to draw that. So I don't think really you just start drawing stuff just out of your head. I mean, we do if we want to draw like a house or a tree or whatever, but as we start progressing, we see things that we want to learn how to draw because we want to get better. So when I look at something, this is what I look at. I look at the first things that I see is basically the whole picture, shall we say. I look at the whole picture and I know that it's going up. Let me use my pencil since my light is off. The whole thing is kind of up. I mean, this is in my head. I'm just putting this down on paper. It's up, okay? So then I'm going to look at the shoulder which is going this way, whichever way the shoulder is going. Then I'll look at like the line, the direction line, going here and coming back out like that. And then I'll look at something going this way and then something coming that way, but something being the arm. And then one leg in, usually bring it in, and then I see the other one going out like that, okay? So these are the shapes that I look at, or the forms, or the direction, or the things that I look at when I first see a drawing. I'm seeing which way things are going to turn. Then I start out with my basic shapes. The first three shapes that you always start out is your torso, your waist, and your hips. Don't do your head. Please don't do your head. All these people that say start out with your head, or these art books that say start by doing the head, don't do that. Just don't do it. All right, so I'm going to draw my torso, and you're going to use simple shapes. Don't try to draw the muscles in right away. Use your simple shapes because it shouldn't take you an hour to do a picture. It should not take an hour. So your basic torso is going to be the oval, and depending on where or how it's turned, then you're going to have this, as I call it, the tuna can, which is just a cylinder. See, it's late. I'm losing my voice and I'm forgetting my shapes. Then I have the upside down house, which is basically, it's not a triangle, it's an upside down house. Okay, so these three shapes have me started with my figure. All right, so I had to stop for a second and get a drink of water. I'm losing it. Okay, so we have these three simple shapes to start with the figure. Now, for those of you that may be brand new to the channel, this is your first time in class, I have different names for different shapes. That's going to be an oval. That's always going to be an oval. This right here, your waist, is just this. That's all that is. I call it the tuna can because that's what I was thinking about when I first drew it. And this, I call it the upside down house because it is, when we are young, one of the first things we like to draw is a house. And that's the closest shape you can get to drawing the hips. Or just think of some briefs, some underwear. Okay, gotcha. And I'm going off the thing. Okay, same thing. All right, put it back on camera, Brian. Same thing. So there you have your shape. Now you understand, but you always leave room, as I call it, the man junk. Don't keep it as a point, round it off. There you go. So we have these three shapes. Now, of course, I said, now I'm going to look at the most important part, which is which way the shoulders are going. So since my oval is kind of going that way, and I always draw the oval in the direction that the person is leaning. I don't draw a straight up and down oval and then cut it. I'll try to draw it leaning in whatever direction he's going. So here's my shoulders, and then again I'm going to have my center line curving, and wherever that point is for the upside down house, that center line is going to curve right into there. So don't think that the first time you hear it, I took my cover off my lights because it was so dim in here. So this is why you see my shadow. Yeah, so I can get a brighter light, and I added an extra bright light for that. So you're going to see shadows from now on. So as I was saying, don't try to get this right the first time. This is a rough sketch. You always do a rough sketch lightly, then you come back and then you add your details to it. So we have this. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at where my collarbone is going to be. So I said I'll put it right here and right here, making that V because you're looking down on that character. So the base of your neck is going to start right here and go up almost to the shoulder, to the back of your shoulder, right there. So that's that hole for your neck. And then you put your head on now, put it on later, but you don't start out with the head. So at the end, right here, I'm going to have my delt right here, one side of the delt. And the delt, wherever this triangle comes at, your delt is right on the end of that. That circle for your delt is right on the end of that. Let me bring this delt down like that. And then you have your chest. So because this is going this direction, your chest is also going to be going in that direction and then curving up. Now, I tend to try to draw the whole thing saying my arm is going to cover up a lot of this, but I tend to try to draw what's there. That way I know that it's right. And then you get good practice from just drawing it anyway. All right, so we have this. Then I'm going to do my legs. I'm not going to do my arms. I don't want my arms to get in the way of the drawing yet. That's going to be the end of it. So from there, I'm going to draw this leg, and this leg kind of comes in a little bit. So I'm going to do the leg, which is an oval. Make sure that oval is correct. And I've got really, really good glare coming from the pencil. This is why I don't use a pencil, because of the lights. Then I have my circle. Then I have my triangle. And that's what I said I was going to do in the first place to help you guys speed up your drawing process. Is just do the shapes first and then round it off. So since I've got that in mind, let's do that. Circle, triangle, cone, not triangle, cone. So this other leg is going to go out. This is going to be an oval again, a circle, and my cone. And you new to the channel again, you might say, why am I doing a cone for the foot or for the leg? Because this is your leg. Let's just say I'm going to draw your leg. I'm going to draw a real leg. In and then out. That's the inside of the leg. Okay, so that's my leg right there. Okay, and here is my upside down house, followed by the other leg, which is just going to be rough. No, let's just do the other leg. As I was saying, you have this, and this makes for your leg. The closest shape you can get to all these three and break it down in three pieces is an oval, circle, and a cone, because this is wide and it goes to narrow, and this is the easiest shape that you can come up with. And then so from there you just add the foot, and the foot is just half of a triangle. It should go straight down on the inside and come out on the outside. So I have that. So if I grab a pen and I just added the actual shape of the leg, it would not be too much different from what I have. And that's not much of a difference from those three shapes. So whenever you draw arms and legs, you're going to use the oval, circle, and cone. And you cut it off. If I do the cone for the leg here, I chop it off where I want to put the foot. The way this came all the way down, I put the foot here, so I'll just cut it off right there, that cone, and then just put the foot there. All right, so back to this. And then I put my foot down. And as I said, the foot is just a triangle. Now, if I wanted to sit flat on the ground, I'll do that. Depending on the camera angle, if I am above that a little bit, then I'm going to round that foot off. You don't want to have it too much because then it looks like it's that way versus like if it's flat on the ground, down. But if you have it too much, then yeah, you don't want to lean the foot too much. All right, so there's my foot. So what you're going to have here, you're going to have that bone, since you have two bones down in your shin. You have a bone here and a bone there. So that bone is going to go all the way to the ankle, and then you put your calf like that. Make that a little more thicker there. So your knee is your knee more out? I think it's more out than in. I don't think it really sits in the center because you're going to have this meat here. You're going to have this little meat. Let me show you this, since the big guy's laying here. You have your knee, and then you have this little bump that comes around, and you have a little over here. So my knees are right here. I can't twist the leg. You see that extra piece of meat there, and it goes out and it comes in. Goes out over around the knee, and it comes in and it goes all the way down to your ankle. And it's good to have reference when you're starting out. If you can afford something like this, it's good to have it. If not, if you can find like a cheap G.I. Joe figure or something, go to the thrift store. A lot of times you have a good thrift store. Thrift stores have really, I'm not gonna say really good toys, but they have stuff that's not really beat up and broke up, and it's at a really good, cheap, reasonable price. So find something that's got, that's more skin tight, like a Spider-Man, Black Panther figure, something that doesn't have a lot of belts and straps and stuff all over it. And you can sometimes use that for certain parts. The joints won't really move the way you want them to, but if they have nice abs or, a nice arm, you can use that for reference drawing. All right, so come in here, my knee, this is going back. See, this is going to stay the same. So right here, I'm going to bring that calf, hit there, and that foot like that. You're going to kind of bend it right there. Now, another thing is, if it does not come out exact, that's fine. Whenever you draw, you should draw in your own style. If you want this arm to go out and come in, then that's fine, because you're learning how to draw. You're learning how to draw your style of drawing, not somebody else's. I mean, you might have a favorite artist, but always do your style, because I could be an exact knockoff of Jim Lee or one of those other guys, and then when you see my work, you say, "Oh man, you draw just like Jim Lee." So it's Jim Lee's name that's coming out from my work. Oh, look at that! That looks like Jim Lee's work, or that looks like Rob Liefeld, or that looks like whoever. You draw just like him. I don't want to draw just like him. I want people to say, "Oh, Brian Proctor can really draw. That's Brian Proctor's work. I can tell his work." So you don't want to copy somebody's style so much that it looks just like them, because as an artist, you want to make a name for yourself, not keep somebody else's name alive. This is why I tell people, stop drawing Batman all the time. Stop drawing Wolverine all the time. If you can draw the body so well that you don't need something, that you don't need reference, create your own type of Wolverine, create your own type of Batman, and then put it out so people can say, "Oh, that's Tony Jones or whoever. That's his drawing. He made a nice drawing." Some people, you don't have to have a story to it. Just make up your own kind of character. Take pieces of somebody else's stuff and just take his boots off or his gloves off and put it on your character and just change it around a little bit. So you're not only drawing, but you're drawing your own thing. And who knows where it might go. All right, so bring this down because your rib cage comes around like this and goes up in. I showed you on the last video. Parts of your skin is going to touch the rib cage and parts of it will not, like your lats. Your lats are here. Let's see if you can see this on camera. These are your lats. Your lats are not going to touch your rib cage, but these sides will touch your rib cage and then come up and go out, and it depends on how much muscle you have. So bring that down there, and I'm going to make this tunnel here, tunnel or mountain, and then come in, and it goes right to the nipples. So if the nipples were there, you would come around, and that's where you would go down, and you would curve it down and in. So I'm going to suck this in, and then I'm going to bring this back out like that to keep that in the center. So we have this. It's going to be my ribs. Then I'm going to put my love handles, your obliques. And they, once you have your ribs, and I said I really hate drawing on my paper that I'm drawing my picture on. Here's my ribs, rib cage. All right, I'm not going to do the bones. But right here, where this comes, after that, you have your love handles, your love handles, your obliques, like that. And this is why your stomach comes around because of the ribs, and then in because of the love handles right here, because that's what they're shaped like. Maybe not, they maybe don't come out as far, but they are shaped like that enough to bring those abs in like that. So whenever you draw this, your rib cage, then you know right under the bottom, right, all right, right below it is your love handles. And then after that, you have your upside down house, aka your hips. And your legs come up and into that like this, your legs. But if you are drawing someone with clothes on, you don't have to do that. You just keep the house shape. But it's good to know what's there, how stuff is there. All right, so put that line here, that big thick line in the legs. So we have this, we have that. Let me erase a few lines here so I can see what I'm doing, because it is a powerful glare. And there's no way to actually turn my camera so that you can see the kind of glare that I'm getting. Anyway, yeah, I said I wasn't gonna go off camera. So another thing to look for is when you're drawing something is how much room is in between, or what they say, the negative space. So this is the shape of a triangle. So I mean, if I wanted to get it exact, I would bring this leg in, bring this out, because you can say, okay, this calf is like right at that knee if I wanted to be precise. But I'm saying, if you're drawing something, do your own style. Don't try to copy somebody else's per se. So if I wanted to fix that, it would be a little more like that. Like I made this calf a little bigger, make this knees a little bigger, make the whole leg, make the legs a little bigger as well. But as I say, always draw in your own style. Don't get mad because you can't draw something exactly like that person, because you're not that person. You want to be your own self, your own style. Okay, enough playing with the legs. All right, so I have my hand, or the hands are going to be like right here. Usually whenever I draw something, if I'm drawing hands in front of the character, then I'll draw that first. If the hands are just down or just like right there, I put the arms leading to the hands. But if the hands are something that you're focusing on because he has a gun, then I'll put the hands first, and then I will connect that to the delt, which is a given. And that way, a lot of times you'll know if this is too far, you bring those delts. I can bring those delts in, because looking at this, I have to bring that delt in and bring it to the chest a little more. And that's one reason it's good to put the hands where you want it and then connect it, so you can say, oh, that's too far away, it's too long, it's too this or it's too that. So and the reason I use blue and red is because once I got the base down with the red, then I switch to the blue, so I can I won't get mixed up. I don't know what is it with me talking. That's probably because it's 11:24 p.m. Yeah, and you get tired after about 10 o'clock. All right, so okay, here's my hands. So again with the shapes. So I'm going to make this circle here, and that's the only difference. Hopefully you can see that. I might have to go a little lighter. The difference is you do the oval, circle, and then the cone. So you're going to do the circle, oval, and the cone. Different placements. And then the cone. See how that works just as well? Can you see that? And then I'm looking up and down, couldn't be able to see it. I can see the blue pencil, the light's not affecting it, but it's just kind of like not showing off on the camera. So from there, I will throw my shapes in there. Since this is an oval, that's not too much difference from what I have already. And I'll ink this or pencil it in a second. Then I'll just round this off. And put it into that hand. So we have this other hand which is covered up. You'd see just a little bit of the palm, I guess. So then I'm going to have my oval again. I want to bring this delt down. So it's up again, so I want to bring it more down in the front. And this is going to be coming across the chest. Let me use this guy while I'm doing it. You have that, where is it? It's going to come down across the chest and push that chest over. Push that breast over. So if I erase this, it's going to push that. You won't see it, but you just know it's going to push that chest over. And this one is going to kind of do the same, because it's going to be coming in front of the body, shall we say. So is this still the blue? This is still the blue. So I'm going to do my oval. And then I'm going to do my triangle. Not triangle, stop with the triangle. My cone. Yeah. So 3 simple shapes, quick and easy to do what I have to do. Then I will say to myself, okay, let's round it off. Get that actual shape to it. And then here is the bicep, tricep. And that's I'm going to put that chest. I'm doing it like you can see me. It's still gonna push that chest over a little bit, so you kind of meet in the middle. Where's the pencil? This is the pencil. So I'm gonna do this and this. Kind of meet in the middle with the arm and the chest. Of course, as I say, that's going to come down. All right, so you see how far we've gotten, and we don't have a head yet, which lets you know you don't have to start with the head, because it's not that important. Later on in the end, you do the head. So let's do this shoulder, which is your traps, traps. And it's just a big lump like this, but it goes up around the neck, goes up around and behind the neck, and here too. Check out the last video, and I did a lot of detail on that, showing you how to do this. And then you can put the head however you want to put the head. Now, since he's crouching down, you want to bring that chin down a little more. You don't want to have the head way up here, because it's not what he's doing. You want to bring that head down. Let me use red since I didn't use the red. So you want to bring that head down. And what I'll do, I'll just keep circling until I find that right head point. And that is, and turn it this way, so I'm going to have to put the chin more here. When I find that right head point, then I will darken it up. This is the blue, that's the blue. And since your neck is there, you have that V for your neck, you're good to go. Now, after I get to that point, then I will tune it up. I will fine tune it. So let me put a gun here first before I forget that there's a gun in his hand. And then so you have this shape right here, which is kind of like this. It's almost like a baseball home plate, almost. So what I do is with the hand, anytime I draw the hand, it's that shape. It's that, take my fingers off, it's that shape, okay? That square-ish kind of shape. And then I know I have like 1, 2, 3, 4. So then I put my fingers, put your fingers right, so, and then I'll do whatever I have to do, twisting my finger wise. So if you have this and you have your fingers, then you're good. That didn't come out the way I was trying to say. If you have this, that's a good starting point for doing whatever you want to do with your hand. To do whatever you want to do with your hand. I'm going to do a hand video. Did I do? No, I did not do one yet. I said I'm going to do a hand video. I keep saying that. So this first finger is going to come out, because that's going to be the one. I got to turn this light on because there's so much glare. Hopefully you can see that with the light on. The first one's going to come out because that's going to be your trigger finger. Your second one, there's going to be an opening between that because the trigger finger's got to go through that guard. You're going to have this next one go here. Next one goes here. Was it 1, 2, 3? And your last one goes there because you're holding that gun. So you notice how it goes in. It's going there. They are going in at this angle. Almost kind of like perspective. They're going like this. This is just how your fingers are going to go. Yeah, I drew through my gun, but it's just, it's an easy fix. And then your knuckles there. And then your gun. Actually, let's fix this gun. So, like that. There's going to be a guard there. And then the rest is good to go. Put a little flashlight down here if I choose, because this is comics. And I put a little scope. A big scope. On the gun. Not since Escape from New York. Like the gun, he had a little 45. I think it was a 45 or it was a Magnum. Had the big scope on it, on the top of it. Yeah, anyway, so there you go. Now, as I said, from there, I'll start adjusting stuff. before I even, consider trying to ink it. Making sure everything is right, lined up. And let me put some ink on this. That way you can see it. 8, 2, all right. I just turned my light off. I can't see it. All right, so it's gonna be a quick inking. So it's gonna come here. Let's start with the head. So it's going to go this way. So it's going to be in the center of that chin. And whenever I do a head, I'll show you. I'll do this. Then I'll go wherever my eye line is. I'll do this. And I'll do that to keep it straight. So let me redo this over here. Here's my head. Oval. Here's my center line. So I'm going to put my chin there. Bring my jaw up to where it's going to be with the mouth, because wherever the jaw turns at, that's where your mouth is going to be. So I'm not putting the mouth, so let's not worry about the mouth yet, because I'm showing you steps. This, go to the chin, this is my head, where my eyes are, center. So from this point to this point, I'll do like this little curve like this, almost like the Boba Fett's helmet, Mandalorian's helmet. I think Mandalorian has the same kind of helmet, that line. So, as I say, wherever this is where your mouth is going to be. And then your nose is just right above that, because you have this little piece, which is your philtrum, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's your nose, and of course you already have your eyes. And for me, depending on the angle of the head, if you're looking up, I'll put the eyes under it. If you're looking down, I'll put the eyes over that center line. And if you're looking right at me, that center line will be going right through the eyes. This is a way, and then you can bring it like this, bring it in. Since this is turned, you're not going to see this part for the temple. And this is a good way to be able to keep your head straight. Because I know a lot of people have crooked heads, and sometimes I'll have crooked eyes. Versus the crooked head. And then just bring this out for the jaw, and then back in, and then just erase that. So if you want to keep that cheekbone, you can. A little bit of cheekbone. It hurts nobody. Form your chin. So your chin and your nose are the same width, and it goes right to the inside of your eye. So if you draw a line from here, this is as far as your mouth. Well, no, this is as far as your nose. This is the size of your chin, your nose, unless you're drawing somebody with a big nose or smaller nose. Just average. Your mouth is at the center of the eye. This is as wide as your mouth is. And, of course, your ear is right over the eye, more like the eyelashes, and right under the nose, if you're looking straight on. So that's a quick face lesson. And I want to get into that more so I can start drawing more expressions. Put the blue up, put the red up, stick with the pen. All right, so quick. My neck. There's that neck muscle, which actually is supposed to go right here. I was off. I'm doing too fast, because that V is going to be right at that point. So let's just see if I can shift that over a little bit. And I couldn't do it, so I'm just going to fake it. And here's my chest, which is being pushed because of the delt, which goes way around the back. At that center, you want to split your bicep and tricep. So there's another muscle that comes from between these two, and it shapes this little muscle here, which is these extra muscles under the arm. I don't know the name of those muscles. Then let's go back up here. So your delt is not part of your chest, but it like cuts into the chest. Look at the other video and you will learn what I'm saying. So this is going to come around. This is going to be my collarbone, which connects, which is right at the end of this. They come together. And your delt goes around there. So I kind of bringing that chest and that arm kind of together. And you have this V, this little point here, and it separates the arm because there are two bones, just like in the leg. There are two bones in the arm. And when you turn your arm over, you twist, and you get that. You might be able to see that little line that goes across here. That's your two bones going across one another. So you have just a little bit of that, and then we have my hand. And then we have the finger that goes here, the other finger that goes under, the finger that goes there, and the other finger that goes under there. And then I have my, if you want to get detailed about it, you have your knuckles. And you're not going to see the other hand, which is an easy get out of drawing. You have this. And you're going to have part of your lats right here. Your love handle, which goes down your hip. And then your stomach. If I want to draw the the actual abs. Yeah, that's right, Brian. The actual abs. That's the word, is for the abs. Comes down. Leaving room for the junk, so you don't want to keep that point on that house. And then my leg. Knee, the little meat over in front of the knee or on the sides. Remember that comes down and there, so I can put my calf. Curve that a little bit more. Ankle, inside ankle is higher than the outside ankle. Yes. And then my foot. Again here, we have the big thigh, your knee. In that other muscle, calf muscles I'm not going to worry about right now. That one foot, and bend it right there like that. And then you have your position. So the more I do these, I'm going to focus on the action pose positions, and I'm going to focus on just doing them, what's the word? Quicker? Is it quicklier is a word? Quicker and easier by concentrating on the shapes, using your shapes more than trying to draw an arm by just drawing the arm muscle first. You draw the shapes first, then you can draw the muscles on it. Yeah. So, okay, that's going to be it for this particular video. Now, I could have put his head down a little bit more to give him more of a crouching. But as I say, when you draw something, this is not bad. Okay, let's just say this is good. This is good too. It's not bad. It's not exact, but I mean, if I didn't ink it, I could shift it around a little bit more. But that's what I'm saying. Don't get mad at yourself because your drawing didn't come out to be exactly like it is. You know, 4 years ago, I couldn't draw like this, but I can draw like this now. 4 years from now, if I'm still alive, God willing, I'll be drawing even better than this. So if I keep this and 4 years from now, I can bring this back. I can say, look at this picture that I drew when I was a young cat. You know, you'd be like, wow, you got a lot better. So don't kick yourself because you're not doing something exactly the way you think it should come out. It'll come out. The more you try, the better it'll get. And you'll get there one day. It's like doing anything, like playing soccer or basketball or baseball. You might not be the greatest right now, but if you keep doing it every day, a little bit every day, then you'll get there. So that's my words of wisdom. Don't kick yourself because it just didn't come out right. Use your own style. Become your own artist. Get your own name out there. Okay, so that's going to be it for this. end up with a close-up of the drawing, and then I will see you guys in the next video. Yeah, that's it.